Okay.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Psychic Talk. I'm your host, Priscilla Gendron, and we're back again with the amazing Brigitte Rix from the UK. And it's my great honor and pleasure to welcome her back. She's an author and psychic channeler, and we're just delving deeper into the amazing afterlife. And today we're going to be talking more about channeling, sixth sense, and how do we know that it's not in our heads, and are we communicating with spirit, and how to go about it. So it's going to be a sort of like a journey into helping us to know whether we're channeling or whether we're just having crazy thoughts. So it's my great pleasure to welcome Brigitte. Welcome, Brigitte.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Good morning, or whatever time of the day it's yours.
Yes, yeah, everybody does it at a different time in a day.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you for joining me again. You know, I always found you such an incredibly fascinating person, and you've had this amazing journey and gift that you've been given to allow you to really bring the afterlife and you know the realm that we all you know seek in a sense, and you bring it to the books that you've written, and you bring it to life in a sense. So we're going to talk a bit about channeling, or the different kinds of ways that we can communicate with spirit.
Yeah, okay. Do you want me to say something? Well, there's different ways, isn't it, really? I mean,
Yes.
channeling, well, let's just define, well, you agree with me or not? To me, channeling is being a conduit, being a hose, being a pipe between, two ends. So really channeling, I mean, is receiving communication from the other side. And that is wonderful when you've polished it, unless you're born a great channeler. And I would say it's to do with altered state of mind. So it can start with just altered, altered state of just simply inspirational, well, talking or writing, some thoughts that you had not planned to say and come to your mind. Right? So that's how it can start. And the more you can polish that, you might get, into deeper communications. And of course, I think we need to remember that the other side, our guides or our communicators have got to learn to drive us, as I'll say. They have to learn to handle our vibrations, because they don't see the body as such. They just see us as, or they sense us as vibrations, and they can sense our thoughts. So this is what they have to learn, what is best for them to use, and what we are more receptive to. I mean, some people are more receptive to hearing. It's not some. It doesn't have to be a voice, like in a room. It could just be in your head. So I'm mainly clairaudient, because this is what they decided it was best for them to dictate books to me and just hear it. And of course, they use automatic writing with a pen at the same time. Other people are very clairvoyant, but that's all different, you see. So I would think channeling is still a lot to do with hearing, sensing, and then of course it can turn into psychic art and many other aspects.
Now, what do you I said in the beginning, the question is like, how do you know it's not just in your head? Like, I think we have had this journey, and we've both been in the psychic realm for so long, we know the difference. But for some people that are just stepping into it, how do they know whether it's their own thoughts or whether it's spirit guided?
Okay, well, assuming that they have already, the person has already tried to practice, I would say, first of all, it's your intention. My guys always say intention, the intensity of your intention. Why do you want to communicate? Right? Because you want to go make money? Well, you're not going to go very far. Why do you want to communicate? What's at the bottom of your heart? Honestly, just see that. Are you seeking knowledge? I wanted knowledge. I wanted to know where we come from. I wanted to know the depth of what's the universe and all that stuff. And my intense desire of discovering all this knowledge, my teachers said, this is what brought all the correct communicators, or the right ones, let's say, they're all correct, to bring the information. So how do we know? Well, just you want to communicate and find a way of starting, if you've never done anything like that. The main thing, as my guide always advise, is to allocate every day, if you can, some quiet time to be just listen to your breath, be still. I know it's very hard to stop your mind thinking. We all have a very, very busy mind. But like, so take a deep breath, focus on the end of your nose, that it keeps your mind busy. It's what the Buddhists do, basically, and notice that the air goes in and out as you breathe. So that calms you down. Then you can sort of look up at your forehead, behind your closed eyes, and that dark screen behind you might just be dark or gray, or you might see some flashes of colors, which would be a very good sign if you see flashes of colors or things like that, because that's vibrations, energy. So that's a good sign. Aha, you're getting there. And then just look at it and practice. Don't be impatient. Practice just doing that. Now, what I've done, I was copying a friend who was, already doing it a bit. I was doing that relaxation with a pad, a big A4 pad, like that, and a biro. Use a biro. Do not use a pencil. A biro, a ballpoint point is much better. And I just send a thought, right? This is my guides there. I'd like you to communicate with me. I've got a pen. If it's any help to you, and please let me know you're here. And that's it. Are you there? Anybody there? That's it. If you start completely, right? And this is, have the pen lightly. I would say, for those who are new, don't press hard. Hold it, but just enough to touch the paper that it writes. But don't press too hard. And then start from that. And the first thing comes to your mind, whether the pen's going to do it automatically, that means your hand moving, or whether a word comes to your mind and you write it. Anything, just let it write itself or write it down. Okay? Nobody's going to judge you. It's a secret pad. And that's that's how I would say start like that. All right? As you go along, I would say you'll find that hopefully your guys are going to jump and say, oh, great, they want to work. They will give you information, or they're not going to tell you how the world was created. They give you some bit of information, some sentences that you had not planned to think of at all. And you'll think, oh, where does that come from? And the moment you think, where does that come from? Then you're there. Okay, you're on the right path. Don't you think so, Priscilla? I think it's when you start wondering where it comes from, then it's not from you, is it?
Exactly. I always say that I feel as if I'm two people. And I said it's quite appropriate for me because I'm a Gemini, and that's the twin. I feel like I am two people because I'm Priscilla, the person, the everyday person. And then there's Priscilla, the psychic medium and the healer. And I keep it very separate. And I know when my brain is working in the psychic side of things and when my brain is just working in the normal everyday life. And I think that's important. It's like learning to trust what you feel and trusting your sixth sense and your intuition. Because a lot of people don't trust in their intuition anymore.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. Yeah. So really, I mean, it's best. We're just talking about starting from scratch. It's the best way instead of diving into it. Yeah. So as you said, starting with the sixth sense, really. So I would say the pen and the pad, then you make notes. I would say as well as a bracket, if you have dreams, which are, seem like premonition dreams or things like that, I would suggest that you write them down as soon as you wake up, because you'll forget them. Because over the months, you might think, oh, I dreamt that and it happened. Yeah. But also you could have little exercises to see where you are. I mean, even just trying to sense, like one example that my teachers gave in one of the little books with tips and your secret powers they give is if you go for a walk, when you go for a walk, say somewhere like that, so especially somewhere you haven't been before, that's even better. And there's a band, right? So play a game with yourself and just say, okay, I want to sense whether you're going to hear it in your head, a word in your head, or have a flash in, as a picture in mind. What am I going to notice around that bend? Something which I thought, oh, fancy that thing there. All right. And then you walk. So let's say many times nothing different happens and it doesn't really work. But you keep doing that. Send your aura. We've all got this energy field, which is what we call aura. Imagine you're sending it like a big light ahead of you, and it goes around the bend before you get there. So your aura is reading, oh yes, I can see there's a dog with a pink ribbon on his head. All right. Now that idea comes to your head. You just walk, you haven't reached the bend, and you have, oh, dog with a ribbon, an example. And then you walk, and there's a dog with a ribbon. You think, wow, I hadn't planned that. Okay, so you sensed it. This is brilliant. This is the beginning of remote viewing. And if you get very, very good, the CIA might use it eventually and use it as a psychic spy.
Now, I had that. I remember when Aaron was younger, we were going somewhere with some friends, and we were walking down the road, and him and the other little boy he was with were on scooters, the little scooters, and they were pedaling down. And as I just like looked ahead, and I said to him, "Stop at the corner. Do not go over the little path. Please stop at the corner." And he did. He listened to me, and as he stopped at the corner, a car came tearing around the corner without stopping. And my friend like looked at me as if I was like, how the
Wow,
hell
you
did
see,
you know that? I said, because I saw it happening and I
you said
tried to
it.
stop it from happening. And I think even he got a shock, like, oh, okay, my mom's the psychic, she knows these things. So he just took it as oh yes, she's just telling me these things. But my friend was like that I was with was completely shocked that I
Well done.
knew that that was going to happen, because
Yeah.
as he stopped on the corner, this car came tearing round, and had he gone over, the car would have hit him.
That's right. Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah. When you say that, it reminds me of it's worth saying to people who are listening. I remember meeting a lady and she was panicking. She said to me, "Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared. I think I'm making bad things happen to people." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, I was walking down the road and I could see this lady on the bike, ahead of me, and I knew she was going to fall and crash into a car or something. And then a minute later, the woman fell." And my friends, "Oh, I must have made it happen." I said, "No, no." It's just like Priscilla. You sensed it. It's your aura sensed it ahead. You did not make it happen. It was going to happen because the way she was riding, whatever. So it's
Exactly.
important. And there are courses. I mean, especially in America, there was a famous Jose Silva mind control course, or mind control, or other names they give it to you. And you learn that. You learn to little exercises. You take a few deep breaths, after a bit of practice, and you learn to put like three fingers together as a trigger, as a trigger. When I am relaxed, when I put my fingers together, I'm getting into this relaxed state, which opens my sensitivity, open my, what I call my satellite dish, my sensing dish, if you like, the screen. And they said you can drive. You said you have your fingers, like a thumb and two fingers together like that. You can drive, you can hold a pen. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And you can drive, you can hold a pen or anything. It's a good trigger to program your mind. Okay, I'm in a relaxed, receptive state. And they were giving us examples of people like you with a car, is what I remember now. He said this man was driving like that, green light, no problem, and his foot press on the brake. And he thought, why am I doing that for? It's a green light. So he braked, and a lorry came, and I jumped the red light on the other side, and they would have had a crash if he hadn't had his fingers together and triggered this braking. So the sixth sense made the foot brake. So all this
Exactly.
was
And,
very
and I've
important.
had that as well over the years. And I've learned to really trust my instincts and trust my connection and my channeling from spirit, because it's so important to trust them,
Yeah, yeah.
because they're
So
giving you
when
messages for a reason.
that's right. So you see, if it partly could be yourself, your own, sixth sense. But there again, what are we talking about? We are spirits. We are spirits, and your guide is a spirit. He hasn't, well, I say he hasn't got a flesh body because he doesn't need one in his high dimension. And we just are spirit, a being of energy. That's what the spirit is, isn't it? In this flesh, which slows us down. So really, we are, when you say, oh, is it me or is it my guide? Well, you are a spirit. So you're really doing some kind of channeling in a way. But
Yeah,
is it a more advanced level? Well, this is where I would say we're judged by what you get and engage in conversation with whoever you're communicating with. Try to find out what they are. Don't have to worry too much about what they did in other lives. It's just really, okay, what can you tell me, and what advice, and so on. What advice can you give me, and so on. But all these little exercises, as I said, it's useful to polish that. And then according to what you'll be best for you, then no doubt you'll find yourself attracted to one way or the other, guided toward one thing or the other. I mean, I was obviously doing it through the writing, and they were just inspiring me. Well, they were putting ideas in my head, but the pen, for me, the way it works, they were using automatic writing. They were making the pen write. I wasn't writing. It's not like, oh, I hear them and said, wait a minute, and I write it down. As they were saying things, the pen was writing it. And at first I thought, oh, is it my mind? And they said, no, we found that it's much easier for us to do mind-to-mind communication,
Yes.
to blend our spirit mind with your human mind, okay, the way all spirit. Blend the mind, it's much quicker. Basically, it's telepathy. So I call it telepathically guided automatic writing, because at first they had started moving the pen, and they said it's very hard work. They did it the first few times I did writing. They were actually sending tons of energy into the muscle to make the pen move. But it was very hard work for them. They said, we're burning a lot of energy to do that. It's much easier to blend the minds. And that was it. So I'm like you said, you were two person. I'm like two people as well. When I receive all these channeled books, which I've got 9 books now, 8 published, the 9th is around the corner to the publisher. It's just I'm me holding the pen and enjoying, especially after 42 years of them talking to me, for enjoying what I hear, what is being said, and the pen is writing it full speed, and I can just be briefly showing. I don't know if you can see, but it's just, I usually use A4 pads. And you can see there's no cross words, no cross paragraph. Equity pages after pages. So it's not, normally when you write a letter, you cross paragraphs. It's, oh no, I've changed my mind. This is just non-stop, writing, very fast writing. And you could have 10 pages in an hour, 2 hours like that. So it's just full flow. And I'll just say one thing. The interesting thing which proved to me that it's not me. I know it's not me, because of the contents, that sounds very profound that I never heard of. But it's just, I'm saying that to help people. But also, I could spend an hour, 2 hours receiving all this, and maybe even just ask a question, though they don't like me interrupting too much, because they have their own flow, their own people, their own flow of thoughts. But as soon as I finished, I cannot remember what they were talking about. I might vaguely remember, oh yes, it's about thought power, or it's about, but I couldn't. And it's only when I get to the computer, maybe another day, and to look at it and try to decipher this very fast writing. People say, oh, whose writing it is? I don't think it's anybody's writing. It's my hand holding a pen, writing very fast.
Getting the words, yeah.
This is when I discovered what they've been talking about. I said, oh, a minute, that's very good. Oh gosh, how can I tell the public that I'm going to be burnt at the stake? Because it steps on the toes of the establishment or something. Yeah, so good luck, people. Do try using a pen, a biro, a ballpoint, large pad, and have a go. Just start and see what they want to do with you, because you might find hearing, you might find, you get seeing, and also, is it what you want? Do you want to acquire knowledge, or do you want, like, give messages to people like that? I mean, I'm a medium as well in a different way. I mean, I can give messages to people, but I prefer to receive this. It's very time consuming. So there's a lot of aspect, isn't it, Priscilla?
Yeah, because spirit can use you in very different ways. They can use you as a channel to bring knowledge to humans, as well as our departed loved ones that would like to channel. And I mean, I do a bit of both. I get channeled messages from loved ones, as well as channeled messages of knowledge. And I think that's important to take it slowly. If you feel like you're getting all these downloads and you're embracing it or not sure how to do it, it's just record it, as you say, write it down, because then it takes it out of your energy, because otherwise it sits in your head and just turns around. I'm exactly the same when I'm doing my channeling and my mediumship. I never remember what's happened afterwards, and people will come back to me and say, you said this and this and this, and I'll say, I don't remember, it wasn't me.
Same with me when I give messages. I say, I don't know.
My mouth was moving, but it was somebody else talking. So and that's the way it is.
I would kind of just say, is anybody watching us? Hopefully somebody is watching us. It's you know, if you, whoever is watching, if you you know, do get into the habit, which is a good habit, of sitting quietly, especially if you go in nature, the place to be best is nature, especially if you live in the country where it's lovely and warm all the time. Because nature's energy is what we need, and we are made of nature. I mean, our body is made of the minerals of the soil and so on. You know, so you know. But if you practice, if you suddenly think, oh, I'm getting these, you know, lovely thoughts, whatever it is, inspiration or whatever thought. Nowadays with the cell phones, you know, the mobile phone, record yourself. You know, there's nobody there. Just talk to the phone. Just say what comes to your mind. And you might find that suddenly after a few minutes, it would get going. And you'll find yourself pouring away some stuff that you definitely had not, you know, planned to say. And that should give you a good, I would say, a good push to trust what you're getting. Because there you are, you're going to sit on a bench by the river or something to be tuning in. And there you are pouring out this wonderful stuff. You said, my goodness, where does that come from? Well, the answer is the other side.
The other side.
Before sitting, I mean, well, I don't need to do it so much nowadays. But when I remember when I first started, I did not want to have any kind of clowns coming near me, you know, in my energy. You could have some silly, you know, departed spirits. Oh, it's a stupid girl. She wants to tune in. I'm going to pretend I'm, you know, I'm a queen king or something. Again, intensity of intention. As I was sending the thought, I do not want any rubbish. I do not want any clowns or liars. I want the highest and the best.
Yes, because the whole point with channeling is that you're not going to just always get the beauty and the light. You know, there are other spirits and entities and stuff up there that are not of the light, that will try to use you as a vessel.
But the thing is not to fear, because if you fear, that's another key teaching from my teacher. They said, do not fear, because if you sit there thinking, oh, I want to channel, but the devil is going to jump into me and the baddies and the 7%. Well, if you feel that, you will attract negative, not negative, you know, people. Yes. Because you know, it's not because somebody, as you know, not because somebody is departed, left their body, that they're going to be saints on the other side. The same as even your mother, father, whatever, relatives, not because they passed over, they automatically know everything. I got the answers to everything and can solve your problem. They can't. So as you say, we could be having some idiots coming through. But if you determine that you want to help people by giving messages, or you want to help people by giving knowledge, or you want to have knowledge because they, on the other side, they want us to understand more. Because what we've been taught at school is nothing. Big Bang, all this, and you know, it's evolution. It's not at all like that. So it's important that you have this intention for the highest, the best, because you want to be kind, you want to help. I mean, giving messages and healing, it's a healing form of, you know, giving messages to people to reassure them that departed ones are safe on the other side. Of course they are, and they still love you and all that. And the same as actually hand-on healing, you know, for health. So it's another type of healing. So intention matters. If you want to do the best for the good of others, you're on the right track. No need to fear. Therefore, do not fear. And don't doubt. Just do those little exercises, as you and I mentioned, to prove to yourself, oh, yes, where did they come from? This higher stuff than me. Then I must be on the way. Yeah. And then you could also send a thought to your loved one and say, please give me sorry, go phone next door. Give me some tips or clues to show me that, you know, you're there, you know, and your God will do something about it.
Exactly. And you, as an author, you've put together several books. I know you're busy on your 9th book now, but you've got 2 books. One is called The Golden Keys to Freedom and Hope, and the other one is Your Secret Power. And those 2 are, you know, books that you help you to give secret tips and unlocking, you know, using the keys to unlock things within yourself. So
right. They're not very thick, those. These are the thin books that spirit communicators dictated actually during the lockdown. because they said people are so scared. They're living in fear with, we know what happened with this, COVID thing and all that people are terrified. And especially for people who do not believe, or so far have not been believing at all into another life. They think you're dead, you're dead. And the grandparents dying in a nursing home, and you couldn't see them because of this carry on, of depriving people of family and so on. So they were really suffering. Therefore, they were full of fear. And then, of course, full of fear and upset and despair made them all ill or catching other illnesses. So really, this vicious circle. So they dictated that to say, right, oh, listen, people, you're in problem. We're going to tell you the truth. You do survive. It can be proved. You are a being of energy. Accept that for a moment, and we'll prove it to you by give them little tips. As I said, sit quietly, learn to take a few deep breaths, and visualize a light over you to calm you down. All these very simple tips are really helpful, and it gives you the strength to get the strength to feel balanced before you get up in the morning. And then also they say use a bubble. Now the bubble in the sense of use your aura as a nice big bubble of yourself. Tell yourself it's not breakable. It's strong. Nobody can pierce it. And if you put the intention, that protection of energy, it's a bubble of energy, which cannot be broken, and always there. You breathe it out. I can see this lovely white, blue, whatever you want it inside me. I'm inside it. And I can go out and I will not be reached or attacked by negative thoughts, by negative neighbors, by bosses, by accident. I shall be safe. I'll get up in the morning and I'll be in my bubble. I'll achieve what I plan to do or what I have to do. But tonight I'll still be in my bubble and my body will be healthy. Because if you stress yourself, if you let events or people stress you, you know what's going to happen. It's going to affect you and you become ill. That's what illness is. This is, you will have heard that, this is not all illness. Okay. So yes, so this brilliant, very easily read, there's only 100 pages each. They are on my website, and also on Amazon. I've got them as Kindle for the other people who want it as a Kindle as well. And a special price, because it's a pair, volume 1, volume 2. It's the best birthday present, Christmas present that you can give yourself or give anybody. But it's so easy, and even you can give youngsters to read, teenagers to read, because it gives them little clues. A lot of little tips are that, as I said, like go around the corner and sense ahead of you. And stuff, doodling. When you've got problem, we're talking about sensing earlier. Little doodles. Some of you like doodling. I like doodling, and it's amazing. If you got a problem, a question, oh, should I do this? Or should I choose job A or job B, whatever. Have a pen, again, a barrel, and let your pen doodle. It will be funny shapes and so on, but it will focus your mind on the paper. And suddenly you might find that this little line circle suddenly will be meaningful to you. And then you could say, should I take that job? No, you have a big X or something. Or, should I go here or there? And then it's amazing. It will draw itself into squares, and you'll know, oh, that's the house on the left, it's the house on the right, or that's London, and that's, this is Paris. It helps. So do try that. The doodling is a very good tool.
Very much so.
It draws itself. You're not doing it yourself. It's, it's guidance. Guidance. Yeah.
Oh, Brigitte, you are just this fountain of knowledge, and I just really thank you for joining me today. I really, Brigitte and I have decided we're going to put together a wonderful little workshop on channeling, where we go much more in depth in what channeling is and how to work it, and give you the proper tools. So if you'd like to be part of our workshop, it is a paid event. So if you'd like to do that, I have the details to get hold of me in the description below of the video. And it'll be amazing. So if it is that you want to develop your own skills and hone them in, or if you are already a psychic or a medium and want to develop your channeling skills more, please feel free to drop me a line, and Brigitte and I will be more than happy to guide you into a further, better understanding of your gifts. So Brigitte, thank you so much for joining me.
Can I just nip in for a second there to say, to give them a little carrot as well, is that, there's different channeling, and things you can do, like using a photo. You know, if somebody gives you a photo, somebody you don't know, and you learn to send your energy into that person, and you could surprise yourself that you receive information about the person, or even you can have the person communicating, and it happens well. And I've done it, and it can be done amazingly. Try if you have a photo of a pregnant lady, you know nothing about boy or girl. That's the only choice likely to be, and it's amazing. Not only you can pick boy and girl, and you won't know until they're born, but I did that, and when I did that the first time, just to know it's a boy and a girl, and I found myself receiving communication from the baby still in the womb. He was, only 8 months pregnant. She was, and the baby was obviously a grown-up spirit going the baby first, and explaining why he was coming to her. So really, it's channeling, ladies, gents who are listening. It's really a fantastic gift, which has many facets, to use your inspiration and materialize it into some way of healing people, healing yourself, and helping the world.
Exactly. So thank you, Brigitte, for joining me, and we'll be back again at some stage with more wonderful information and knowledge gleaned from above. So thank you very much for joining me, Brigitte. And thank you, everybody. And see you again, same time, same place next week. Bye-bye for now.
Bye. Thank you. Au revoir, as the French would say.